Hello, Udacity Rubius. My name is Fuzz. I'm coming at you from Richmond, Virginia, 3,000 miles away from our home base in Mountain View, California. Let's get right into it. Today we're going to be doing some Sublime Text shortcuts in Sublime Text 3. These should translate to Sublime Text 2 as well. If you're on a PC, these won't translate directly, but the concepts will still be useful because the same things do exist on a PC, and they're usually very similar. A lot of times it's as simple as changing command to control, so it will still be a worthwhile watch. So the first thing I want to show you guys is how to build directly in Sublime Text so you don't have to switch back and forth from your text editor to the terminal. It is good to know how to work with your files in the terminal. You're definitely going to need to know that for Rails, but this will save you a lot of time when you're working with just simple Ruby files. So we've got a Toy City 4 test here, and we can run it directly in Sublime Text by pushing Command B. And it runs and everything passes. Let's change something here to break it so you can see that Sublime Text will also output the error message right here as well. So this will work with any simple Ruby file. If you're still on Toy City 1 or Toy City 2, you can build it directly in Sublime Text and save yourself quite a bit of time. So that's one of my favorite time savers there, and you can push the escape key to get rid of the output at the bottom there. Okay, now let's switch over to a more complex application. We're looking at a Rails application that I've cloned from an organization called 18F. This is a pretty cool application. It's called Dolores Landingham Bot. I'm not going to get into that because that's not the point, but I just wanted to give them some credit since I'm going to be displaying their code. It is open source, so if you want to check it out, you can search Dolores Landingham Bot on GitHub. All right, let's dive right in. I'm going to skip over things like copy and paste, mainly just those two because everybody knows that. And actually, I'm going to set the tone a little bit weird here, but this is a pretty popular thing that people want to know, is we have this bad example, which is my code. This is not part of 18F's code. So we have this bad example. It's terribly indented, and it's kind of hard to see what's going on here. We could go through and re-indent it all ourselves. This isn't a terribly long method, and that would be fine, but Sublime Text has a better way to do that. We can click Edit, Line, Re-indent, boom. And it's indented the way that it should be. It's nice, easily readable, and that's that. So let's get into some of the hotkeys. If we wanted to get rid of this whole method, we can push Shift and up, Command over, and it will highlight all of that. So when you push Shift and navigate through your text, it highlights your code. And now we push backspace and it's gone. All right. Now let's move on to deleting large lines of code. So let's say we don't want any of this line 11 anymore. We can go through and hold down the backspace, and that takes forever. So let's not do that. Let's use Command Delete, and boom, the whole line's gone. So that was much faster. And let's say we made a mistake. We can undo with Command Z, put it back in there, and Command Y will redo. So Command Z, Command Delete. I think you guys are getting the idea, and you can do something similar with the Option key, also known as the Alt key. If you just want to get rid of like one word or these employee params, we can push Option and Delete, and it gets rid of one word at a time. So that's pretty nifty, huh? Okay, this is one of my favorites though. Let's say we have this employee instance variable, and we've decided that it should be plural. It shouldn't be, but let's just pretend here. We need to change every @employee instance variable to @employees. Now you could go through and do it one by one, but that takes forever, and there's a good chance you're going to miss one, and then your code's going to break. So the better option here is to highlight the entire word with the @ symbol, so it'll grab the instance variables, and you can push Command D, D as in dog or as in duplicate, and keep pushing it. You can see it's grabbing all of those instance variables. Just keep pushing it until it doesn't do anything else. We hit the right arrow key to go to the end of the word, tack an S on there, and now every single @employee instance variable has been changed to @employees. And that was super quick, and we know that we grabbed all of the @employees instance variables in this file. So that one's super useful. You will need to go through like a large application like this and make sure you grab all of those instance variables throughout the application if they exist in other files as well. Okay, now for navigation in large applications like this, a lot of times it can be tricky to find the file that you want. For instance, we want to find some really obscure JavaScript file and we have no idea where we put it. You can push Command P and it brings up this search bar. And we know that it was something to do with fixing the sticky. So we type in fix, there it is. We don't have to type out anything else or even move the cursor. We just type fix, enter, and it opens that file for us. That one is super useful. The next thing we want to do is when we have something JavaScripty like this, I know that this is a Ruby course, but even in Ruby, you'll see some JSON objects and things with these brackets here. Sublime Text has a cool shortcut, and it is Control-M, and that will jump you from an opening bracket to a closing bracket. So sometimes, some places where this might be a little less clear is like this bracket here. You can't quickly see where it closes, but Control-M will jump you back and forth. And again, remember, you can hold down the Shift key anytime you're moving throughout your file, and you'll highlight text. So let's say you wanted to delete everything in between. You can push Control-Shift-M, and it will highlight everything in between the brackets. And it's gone. The last thing I want to show you guys today is how to lay out separate windows within the same Sublime Text window. You can push Command-Option-2, and it'll give you an extra window here. And you can push Command P, and let's say we want to change our database structure, and we can open that over here while we still work on this file. So this would be more useful if you were wanting to reference like some HTML and CSS side by side here. You can push Command-Option-3, and you'll get 3 screens. Pull up some HTML. And you can go as far as 4 screens. In my opinion, that's getting a little bit crazy and cluttered, and there's typically not much use for that. And let's say you're done having these side by side, you can push Command-Option-1 and get it back to a single screen, but it'll still leave those files open here. So that's it for the Sublime Text shortcuts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to ping me on Slack @Fuzz if you have any questions or other tips that you'd like to share. Thanks for watching. Bye.